Hi, thanks for watching France 24 and welcome to Reporters, our look at the very best of France 24 from around the world. Last March, Japan was struck by one of the most devastating earthquakes in its history. The nuclear power station at Fukushima was partially destroyed, causing uncontrollable radioactive leaks. Many of those who used to work at the power plant have stayed on, and they're now the ones trying to repair the damage. At great risk to their own personal safety, these men walk into a radioactive environment and help rebuild the power plant. Many others have also come from all over Japan to help their country, some say, or simply to make a buck. Our reporters, Mary Linton, Guillaume Bression, and Gavin Blair, met the men of Fukushima.
Iwaki, 25 miles south of the Fukushima nuclear plant, is a plain industrial city. But one thing stands out. All of its hotels are fully booked. Thousands of workers who came to clean up Japan after the worst nuclear crisis since Chernobyl have taken up temporary residence.
Are there only nuclear workers living here?
Yes.
And where do they come from?
From all over the country.
The manager of this boarding house agrees to show us the room of a nuclear worker. But the visit is extremely short. Very soon, the manager's boss puts a stop to it.
I'm sorry. I can't answer your questions because the press office manages everything. It's not my decision.
And what about the nuclear workers?
No, you can't interview them either.
A shroud of secrecy covers Japan's nuclear industry during this critical period. Workers are prohibited from talking to the media. Still, we managed to meet a few of them who agree to talk openly without hiding their faces. Their testimonies offer a rare insight into what motivates someone to come work in one of the most dangerous places on Earth.
You know, it's like a state of war. We don't have the right to talk.
And you're a soldier?
Well, I'm more of an informant or a spy.
Yukio, our first informant, is a construction engineer at the nuclear plant. He drives us to a religious center in the city. He knows he can talk freely there.
I came here first because it's well paid, and also because I wanted to contribute to the good of the country. Before working here, I volunteered to help tsunami victims in Ishinomaki, for instance.
Yukio comes from the Nagoya region, hundreds of miles away. Like many of the workers, it is his first job at a nuclear plant.
This is the textbook they hand out to all new nuclear plant workers. It offers a basic introduction to how a nuclear plant works and what radioactivity is.
Yukio works around reactor number 3, where radioactivity can be over 1 millisievert per hour. He has to wear powerful protective gear.
And after all this, I still need to stick some scotch tape around the mask. And then I'm done. It's very hot, but I got used to it. It's the way I work. Then I put a badge, a survey meter, and my business card. Or else, we all look the same.
To accommodate the thousands of workers, hundreds of prefab houses have been hastily built about 12 miles away from the nuclear plant. There we meet a long-standing TEPCO worker. After the accident, he had no real choice but to go on working at the plant. Loyalty is a sacred value in Japan.
Most of my TEPCO colleagues chose to go back to work. It was not compulsory. We could have left if we wanted. But almost none have left because we feel responsible for this nuclear plant.
The best way to meet other nuclear workers is to enter J Village, an old soccer stadium converted into the headquarters for the 3,000 workers currently working at the plant. Even accompanied by a local official, access to the site is strictly limited.
Don't film, please. This is private property.
All right.
You need a permit to get in.
I agree, but we had an appointment with one of the TEPCO officials responsible.
Our guide tries his best to negotiate, but nothing works. We are only permitted an express tour, flanked by 2 employees of the plant operator. Getting out of the car is prohibited. So is asking questions. In J Village, vehicles are decontaminated, workers get their meals, and their internal radiation is measured. After this short visit, we meet Keigo just outside the building. He traveled across the whole country from Hokkaido in northern Japan for a 1-month contract only. Today is his last day.
I was in charge of building the surrounding walls that will cover reactor number 1. That was like the biggest effort, and the radiation levels were highest there. But I came here to do my best, to help my country.
The buses leave from J Village for the nuclear plant. We will not be joining the trip. No media organizations have entered the nuclear plant yet. For now, we have to make do with official footage shot by the plant operator and by Japan's Independent Institute, an organization in charge of advising Japan's government and public agencies. They provide some insight into the atmosphere at the plant, but they can hardly account for the hard work, the heat, the chaos, and of course the fear of radiation. What kind of person is willing to work in such conditions? Any Fukushima employee will tell you that he is here to save Japan. That is part of it. But Minoru, owner of a nearby hotel, says he believes there are less lofty motives.
At first, people tended to glorify the workers. But in my opinion, they are only here to earn a living. They could not find a job in their prefecture. That's why they're here. At least they earn some money when they work for TEPCO.
2 or 3 workers crowd into the hotel rooms. Some only stay for a few weeks, others for months.
Of course, I worry about them. Some residents complain because they're scared of having been exposed to too much radiation. Others say that they don't have family and that their lives don't matter anymore.
In the early afternoon, a subcontracted shuttle brings the workers back to the hotel. They're tired and sweaty. They were up at 5 a.m. for the work.
I like working. Today I had to work for 3 or 4 hours on site. It's good for my diet. Wait a moment. You're lucky. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you this, but here, it's me.
This is what Rio looks like when he works at the plant. Every morning he drives a hydraulic shovel to clear contaminated debris. It exposes him to high levels of radiation, but he doesn't worry too much. This temporary